Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the No Balls Cricket Podcast. As you can see, our newest panelist is supremely excited to be part of this show. I hope everyone's met Phil. Phil is really our lead editor, lead producer, whatever you want to call him. Phil is everything for us. Um,
Phil's our world, man.
yeah, exactly. Phil
Yeah.
really makes this podcast
Phil makes
function.
his podcast tick.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, Phil heard the news that Dinesh Karthik wasn't in the Indian squad and was celebrating a little bit.
He is part of the commentary team, I think, for
No
Sky
one
for
minds him
the
on commentary. Nobody minds Dinesh Karthik on commentary. You heard it first. I think he's completely brilliant on commentary. Should not be
he
playing
is
out.
quite he is a good commentator.
Agreed.
I have you seen Dinesh Karthik's interviews where he's talking about how 5, 6, 7 are specialist roles in T20 cricket, and he thinks he's the best fit for those roles.
Yeah, only if you're playing Bangladesh. Sorry, I
Well,
can't. We cannot resist the Dinesh Karthik barbs. And remember the last time that India were in England, he was part of the test team for the first test. Um,
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone forgets about that and how trash he was getting cleaned up by Jimmy Anderson. I mean,
I
I know that,
genuinely thought you might be talking about like 2007 when he had that when he was our opener alongside Wasim Jaffer.
he was good in 2007. I'm talking about
Yeah.
2018.
Not to mention, do you remember that hilarious incident with Ryan Sidebottom?
Which one? I don't remember this.
Sidebottom was like a little animated as a cricketer. So
Yeah.
half after one ball just flew past him, Karthik was just like he just mocking him because of how angry Sidebottom got in the like the aftermath of his delivery.
uh, anyway, moving on from Dinesh Karthik mocking Ryan Sidebottom, here is the roundup this week.
West Indies are shit. England are shit. Shakib Al Hassan is a shithead. Yeah, pretty much.
A little more detail than that. No. Um, although basically in that's the gist, right?
That is a
That
gist.
is the
Yes.
gist. So England played New Zealand. New Zealand in a two-test series. The first test was drawn because one day was washed out due to rain. If it hadn't been, England would have probably lost that test as well. Um, the second test, New Zealand made 6 changes. They dropped Saudi. Williamson was injured. Basically, a whole list of their frontline players didn't play the second test match, and England still got slaughtered by 8 wickets.
Yep. And they were already under the fire after the first test because everyone thought they should have gone for the win on the last day. And they didn't.
In hindsight,
Uh,
not going for the win was probably the best decision that they made.
probably how they avoided a 2-0 loss.
Yeah, they probably avoided a 2-0 loss by not doing that. Anyway, so England, anyway, going to Edgbaston, the Holly stand is singing, and when they lost on the fourth morning, I think all the fans were celebrating, not because England won or lost, but because the match ended so early that they got refunds for the full day's cricket.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it was a slight disappointment that it didn't end the day before. Honestly, that would have been even more embarrassing.
yeah, true. I mean, but that being said, England are honestly, without Ben Stokes and Jofra Archer, they are a piss poor test team, and it shows. And really, they really need Archer back. They need They need Stokes back. They need a proper wicketkeeper, whether it be Foakes or Butler or Johnny Bairstow. I mean, James Bracey. I'm sorry, may have been overawed by the occasion, but he was absolutely terrible. Um, so yeah, that was
Yeah,
England and New Zealand. New Zealand, of course, showing their strength and depth. 6 changes. Matt Henry was man of the match. I don't think he's going to play after this.
probably not. I don't
Yeah.
think he's playing in the World Test Championship final,
No,
but
neither
we'll
do
get
I.
there.
But we'll get there. But amazing strength and depth, and they really are a good team. Moving on. Similar thing happened to the West Indies against South Africa, but it's the West Indies. No matter how many batsmen they put in their side, they still get bowled out for less than 100.
97 all out on the first day. That's just
Oh, they
we
weren't
should
much
have
better in
had.
the second inning.
Yeah, that's true. They won't.
Yeah.
They've just about struggled to 162. I wish we'd gotten Ian on for this episode, just for
Yeah,
this.
I know. I was like really contemplating having Ian on for this, but anyway, um, he's unavailable, and now we can just laugh at the West Indies.
Um,
Shai Hope went up to opening the batting, didn't make any difference. But did they miss Shannon Gabriel? Maybe. Did they miss a proper batsman? Definitely.
yeah, that I don't know why that. I mean, also let's be fair. The South Africa bowling attack was on fire in that test. Everyone bowled really well. It was good to see people like Ngidi and Rabada back in form. I think Anrik Nokia being in that side really allows all three quicks to just bowl flat out because there's always a backup, and it worked.
It's
And
a good ball. And the
clearly,
other thing is, it's a good bowling attack. I think South Africa,
yeah,
um, and they need some stability. I think also taking the captaincy of de Kock will help. Dean Elgar is a seasoned customer. He's
yeah.
been through it before, so I think they should be okay in the short term. But obviously, against the bigger teams, it'll be a different ballgame. Especially in conditions which are a bit alien to them. I think they really will struggle in South Africa on harder wickets, basically where the ball does a bit. Um, South Africa and the West Indies, and I think Australia are the three that are sort of closest to each other.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's good to see this South Africa side play that well because the last time I saw them at least was when they were in India and they were awful in that series.
Yeah,
So
and there hasn't been much improvement since then. So good to see
yeah,
South Africa back on winning terms. Okay, another couple of updates. Number one, of course, in England, there is a women's test match going on between India and England at the moment. Um, England ended the day one after having won the toss and batted first at 260 something for six. 265 or 66. I'm not sure. You guys can check the scorecards later.
269.
260.
Um,
Is it 269?
269. Yeah, and it was a good comeback from the Indian side because they took I think four for the last 21 or so.
Mm.
They were
Yes.
England were 162 for two at tea,
They
and
were
then
230 for two, and then they collapsed to 260 odd for six
there you go, there you go.
at stumps. And somehow the real talking point was the over rate because the Indian women were 7 over short of a 100 over day. Like really, really,
Well, some
really,
things never change.
some things never change, right? Anyway, more on that. There's 3 more days of that game to go. Also, a lot of controversy surrounding that because apparently they're playing that test match on a used wicket. The wicket
Yeah,
had been used for a T20 game um, a week ago.
yeah. Wasn't a fresh pitch, which again, we did that episode a couple of maybe sometime last month where we were talking about how the women's game keeps getting shortchanged, and I think this is
Another example of it.
just another example. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the last thing. Let's talk about Shakib Al Hasan, shall we?
Yeah. Shakib. So I'm gonna assume everyone knows what this is about. Shakib basically just had a total breakdown when it came in the middle of what a DPL game.
It's Dhaka Premier League, I think. It's a
Dhaka
T20
Premier League.
It's a T20
Yeah.
tournament within Dhaka. It's a club
Yes.
tournament, so it's not first class level. But in Bangladesh, it's one of the bigger tournaments that there is.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's Bangladesh, so it's just shit. So anyway, go on.
So there's an interesting backstory. Umpires in Bangladesh, domestic cricket have always been somewhat under the scanner because there have been some like crazy instances of sort of effectively umpires doing match fixing, just without it being ever called that. And so I don't know if Shakib thought this was happening to him or not, but basically after an appeal was turned down, he just like lost it completely, kicked the stumps, and then
The
he
sec
like
the
ran.
sec the second time was even funnier. So that was the
Yeah, because he
first.
started running towards the umpire.
No. So the second time there was a delay on the
Rain.
there was a rain
Yeah,
delay, and he
yeah,
couldn't believe that the umpires wanted to take them off. So he literally picked all 3 stumps out of the ground and threw it down.
and chucked them. Yeah,
Like
yep.
it was like one, ye mera bat hai, main ghar ja raha hu kind of situation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So Shakib Al Hasan, you are now 5 years old in our opinion. Also
Very
Bangladesh
much
sucks.
a temper tantrum.
Yeah, pretty much. Also Bangladesh, just why? Why are you even a country? This is what Phil has to think about Bangladeshi cricket. It's what, 21 years since you've become a test playing nation? You're still shit. On to our main event. Also, the
Right.
headphone flick was a bit dramatic.
It's okay.
On to
We
our
all
main
know
event.
how dramatic you can be.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alrighty, here we go.
What was that?
Excuse me.
Right.
Right.
Anyway, on to the
Any-
World Test Championship final.
Sorry, I
India
was
versus
behaving.
New Zealand.
I thought I was channeling my inner
Behaving like
Shakib.
Shakib.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So, when you want to behave like a 5-year-old Shakib, let us know.
Yes.
Okay. Now from 5 to back to 30. Uh, in our back to 20, not even 30. Our 20-minute segment. This one is all about the preview to the World Test Championship final.
Right. So yeah, India and New Zealand start playing in 2 days. Hopefully, we have this episode up before then. That is a goal. Um, but
Yeah,
we'll
we
see
have
about that.
been notorious for having this up on the day of the match. But because it's England and the start time is 11 a.m. and not 9:30 in the morning, we may have a better chance
We
even
should
if it's on match
we
day.
should manage. We
Yeah,
should
we should
manage.
manage.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
so hopefully you're seeing this before the match starts. In which case, this is our preview. That is totally in time and perfectly up to date. So yes, big selection questions on both sides. Obviously, with the other dilemma here is New Zealand, or not dilemma, but New Zealand have that slight advantage of having played 2 test matches in England in the lead up to this test. But the conditions might favor India. India have been doing well, dealing with slightly unfavorable conditions anyway, given how well they performed in Australia. So should be a cracker of a match. Um, there is, I think, if just to do some basic housekeeping, if I remember correctly, there is the option of a reserve day if an entire day of
yeah, there is an
if an
option.
entire days of cricket. Damn,
Well,
I can't
you
speak.
have a full day
Entire
to
day's
make
worth
up.
of cricket is
Lost.
lost.
Yeah,
Yes,
basically.
exactly. If the match ends in a draw, as test matches can do, then they will both be declared co-champions.
So Hanuman's mace is then shared.
There is no playing on to the reserve day just to find a result. That is not going to happen.
It's not a timeless test. This is not 19.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. The last time India played New Zealand was in New Zealand. They got thrashed 2-0. New Zealand obviously taking advantage of some favorable home conditions and that excellent swing bowling attack that they have. So that might be on the minds of some of the Indian batsmen. Rohit Sharma, if I remember correctly, didn't play in that series, so he will go in completely fresh.
Neither did Shubman Gill. So both the openers
Neither
will be
did
fresh.
neither did Shubman Gill. So yeah, India's top 5, I guess, is sort of.
I mean, it picks itself, doesn't it? So Sharma and Gill, the 2 openers, then Pujara, Kohli, and Rahane. Your only real choice, I think the bowling picks itself as well. Bumrah has to play, Shami has to play, Ishan Sharma will play. Your only real choice is if you're playing, and Pant obviously is the wicketkeeper. Unless something drastic happens, Saha gets into the team. Otherwise, he does not. But I don't want to reopen a flesh wound now. It's healed. We've patched it up.
So basically, there are 2 spots up for grabs.
2 spots up for grabs out of 3 players. So for me, I think the pitch is probably going to be a sort of even, flat kind of surface, and Southampton is the venue, the second most spin-friendly venue in England in international cricket after the Oval. So there is there's quite a big chance that India will go in with both spinners, and I think actually that helps because I think Jadeja is just a better batsman than Vihari anyway.
I mean, listen, I really like Vihari as a batsman. I think he's done well in first-class cricket. He's had an up and down Test career, but the last time we saw him was playing that great innings in
that amazing rearguard in Sydney.
Sorry, Sydney, not Melbourne, Sydney, where he was playing on effectively one leg. Um, I think but I would also probably go with Jadeja and Ashwin there as the last two people. The other interesting question is, would you do one spinner and an extra quick or not?
Look, I think no. I think if they had somebody like Shardul Thakur in the team, maybe you'd have that option of playing an extra quick and one spinner. But I think it leaves the batting far too weak. I think because remember Bhuvneshwar Kumar is not in the squad, and none of the other um, quicks can
Bowlers
bat.
can
I
bat.
mean, it's comical
Yeah.
watching Jasprit Bumrah at times. He's like a proper number 11 man. Ishan Sharma, okay, is not bad, but he's very limited in what he can do, and he's not the best. Um, and Shami is a bit, I don't know really. Shami seems to have ability and then just decides to slog, so he doesn't really think when he bats.
I was just and I knew that's where you were going with Shami, and then that made me think of someone, Umesh Yadav, who
Um,
is now who the last time we've seen him in Test matches is effectively become our lower order slogger.
yeah, pretty much, didn't he? I mean, I love watching Umesh Yadav bat. It's great. But I think that's the one area that this team actually lacks in. I think if you're in a bit of a crisis and you have maybe Pant and Pant actually allows someone like Jadeja to play at 7. I
Yeah.
think you don't need the extra batting for that. I think if you play Saha, then you play Vihari. But with Pant, it doesn't make a difference because he's a far better batsman.
Yeah.
And so I think you'll go in with the 5 bowlers with both spinners, which will be really fun to watch because suddenly now you have 2 guys that can turn the ball in different directions, plus 3 genuine quicks. I mean,
Yeah.
Shami and Bumrah can crank it up. Ishan Sharma's been, I mean, he's not the fastest, but he can get up there if he really pushes himself. And
Yeah.
he's, high quality swing bowling from, you could even get it from all 3 actually.
Yep. Bumrah can swing it both ways. Ishant is metronomical in terms of where he can land the ball. Shami is a wizard with when the ball is swinging. Yeah, I honestly I would go with the 2 spinners as well. It's a shame for Bihari. It's also a shame for someone like Mohammad Siraj, who has bowled really well in the last 2 series. Um, but I think India are a better side when Ashwin and Jadeja are both in it. The only time I would ever change that is if Hardik Pandya is fit, but that's not the case right now anyway.
Yeah, and I think the problem for India is without Hardik Pandya and without Bhuvneshwar Kumar in the squad, you lack that sort of batting cover with a man who can bowl
Yeah,
seam.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess that's that's what we expect the 11 to be. Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri are known to spring surprises, so don't like be shocked when you wake up on the morning of the game and there's like 4 different, you know, combinations of some weird shits going on. So, uh, but that's what we expect it to be, and I think everybody's fit. So I don't see India changing from that. New Zealand is going to be the interesting 11 to pick. Actually, I think their batting most of it picks itself. I mean, Tom Latham, Devon Conway both open the batting. Williamson obviously at 3, Ross Taylor 4, Henry Nichols at 5, and BJ Watling
yeah,
at 6. Who
yeah.
you pick after that is that's a. I think
So I think Saudi and Bolt are guaranteed picks.
so
I
too is
think at
Wagner.
this, yeah, and so is Wagner exactly.
Yeah.
Um, the question is then, do you have Kyle Jamieson? Do you have Colin de Grandhomme? Both of who can? I mean, de Grandhomme is an all-rounder. Kyle Jamieson is a bowler who can bat pretty well. Um, who do you pick in as a spinner? I think. I mean, they've left Santa out of their
They've
15
left
man
Santana
reserve.
out. So you either pick,
So
they're either going to go in all seam or they're going to pick Ijaz Patel. And
yeah.
in that situation, then I think de Grandhomme has to play because I don't think Jameson's as good a batsman as him.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no doubt that he's not as good. He's a bowler who can bat well, but he's not. He's not as capable a batsman as de Grandhomme is. Yeah. If they want a spinner, then I agree with you. I think then de Grandhomme comes in as extra bowling cover.
Yeah. In fact, I think I'm going to go with that lineup. I think that's the 11 that they'll play. I think it'll be unfortunate, but Matt Henry will miss out.
Yeah, but honestly, I see why you say it's unfortunate, but I also just think, with the bowling quality New Zealand have, he is genuinely probably their 4th or 5th best seam bowler, in which case it's hard to get into a side.
No, I mean, the 2 bowling attacks. I think whoever bowls better wins this game because those bowling attacks are Like they're just ridiculous. You are not going to get a break from any of them. I think this is going to be firstly, it's one of the most eagerly awaited test matches I have seen in a long time. A. B,
Yeah,
I think the two best teams somehow got to the final. You know,
yeah, yeah. Because it, it's very clear that England and Australia are pretty flawed.
yeah.
Australia have at times just get the performances to paper over the cracks from whether it's from Smith or it's from one of the bowlers. England aren't at this level. I know they sprung a surprise by winning one test in India, and
And
everyone
that
will
series
talk
in Sri
about
Lanka. But I
and that
mean,
series, yeah. And
I
everyone
mean,
will talk about, oh, home cooking is what did England in, but in the rest of the Indian series, but yeah, they're not at the same level at this moment.
well, I mean, if they decide to play their best 11 and not let their, sorry, one day specialists go off and play T20 cricket for their counties, they may have a better chance.
Yeah,
But
if Stokes is at full fitness, Butler's there, Anderson and Broad are at full fitness, then maybe. But
and Jofra Archer,
and Jofra Archer, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, coming back to the main. So, I mean, we've basically told you what our 11s are going to be like. That's what we assume is going to happen. Obviously, Kane Williamson could have a surprise depending on the surface. By the way, just let it be known, Niket is not on this pod. We do not have tips on this wicket. It is not Chennai.
Well, more to the point, even if he were on the pod, you would not be able to give him galis for bad pitch info because again, it's not his pitch.
It's not his pitch. Okay, we've assumed that. Southampton traditionally is quick, bouncy. It's one of the better pitches in England, I think. And it
Yeah. The
over the
curator has said he was looking for something with pace and bounce and
yeah,
carry.
and I
Yeah.
think over the 5 days it does deteriorate. I mean, I remember Moeen Ali picking up what is it, 9 wickets in the last game we played there, or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
would like to not remember that, but yeah.
yeah, um, yeah. We look there are games that we all want to forget. Moeen Ali running through India is one of them, but we just
Yeah.
let's stick with the memory. Hopefully, Ashwin can do what he did that on that tour. Anyway, so that's that. Look, two of the best bowling attacks in the world. I mean, vastly different strategies. Obviously, India with more pace in their attack. New Zealand more of a swing bowling setup, other than Wagner, who just I don't does Wagner things. I don't know what to call that kind of line of attack. It's not. It's Wagner line. Let's just call it that, shall we?
Yeah. Left arm around the wicket, short.
Short.
Yeah.
It's just.
Though he did bowl a more conventional length against England in the recently concluded series.
I
So he
think we
can
might see more of
get
that
normal.
actually. But I
But
mean, anyway, let's focus on the batting for now. We'll come back to the bowling in a second because we can talk about that for hours. The batting's the interesting thing. I think out of the two batting lineups, India probably have the more pedigree, but
yeah.
don't discount New Zealand.
No, and definitely because we've always seen India openers especially struggle in England, and these again against really good new ball bowlers in Tim Southee and Trent Bolt. We also know Rohit Sharma especially has a slight weakness against left arm bowling, which
Yeah.
means again Trent Bolt. And apparently, I don't know if anyone's seen the quotes from Shane Bond, who of course is a New Zealand bowling consultant, but was also a bowling coach for both Rohit Sharma and Trent Bolt with Mumbai Indians.
Mumbai Indians.
And I say Rohit Sharma very specifically because let's not forget Rohit Sharma bowled for Mumbai Indians. So he did get some coaching from Shane Bond.
Wait. Are you talking about the time he tried to bowl and nearly did his ankle?
Yeah. But then bowled an entire over after that.
Oh my God. So yeah, Rohit
But
Sharma.
anyway, Shane Bond has been saying that apparently Trent Bolt was wrapping him on the pads during nets for the Mumbai Indians, and then apparently threw in a dig saying, yeah, this is exactly what it's going to be like during the World Test Championship final. So that should be interesting. A little bit of needle, some high quality batting versus bowling. So good.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like a really. I mean, I've been looking forward to this game. I can't believe it's almost here. It's going to be brilliant. Okay, look, the batting lineup: India's batting versus New Zealand's bowling. Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane, Pujara, And then Williamson against Bumrah and Shami and Ross Taylor against them. Ross Taylor against Ashwin. That'll be a tasty battle, wouldn't it? I
Yeah.
think. Do you know what? I think if the ball starts spinning on the maybe second or third day, then I think the Indians are far better placed because then Ashwin and Jadeja come into the game. If it doesn't and it remains sort of grassed up and cloudy, and the overheads also will determine a lot. But I think in conditions where the ball does a bit more off the seam, I think New Zealand have a chance. The drier, flatter conditions, I don't think they'll win. I think India will be the better side there. That's really where we're at right now. It's because they're two very different teams in that sense.
I think what would be interesting is if it looks like in the run up to the game that, and I mean, we're already in that run up, but if it looks like the conditions are going to be dry and New Zealand are tempted to play Jameson, that'll be interesting because India had their struggles with him and he is genuinely quick.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think Jameson with his height and that I think the crazy ability to bowl big booming in swingers from that height. Look, he's a scary cricketer if he gets it all together.
Yep, exactly.
So I mean, I'd be tempted to play him, but I think does it upset the balance of your team then? Maybe.
Probably a little bit. I think that's the dilemma there for them.
But, having said that, I don't see Ijaz Patel doing very well against India at all.
Yeah, but also I really never want to make any bold predictions about how India are doing against opposition spinners, because we tend to make some absolute awful ones look good.
But we only do that against off spinners. They don't have an off spinner. I mean, Kane Williamson is hardly an off spinner.
That's true. But then we also made Jack Leach look good for a bit. So
yeah, but those pitches were awful. So I mean, any spinner would have looked good on those.
Yeah, I'm also thinking back to someone like Michael Clarke.
Again, that pitch was awful.
Monty. To be fair, okay. Also, Monty is a much better bowler than any of the names.
1 minute. And also, that pitch was awful. I stand by my point. The only spinner that I have genuine respect for amongst opposition spinners
is what, Shane Warne?
Yeah, probably.
Even Shane Warne got like taken to the cleaners.
He got pummeled in India, man.
Even Warne got pummeled in India when the pitch wasn't bad. So
yeah, so.
But also, that's a different generation of India batting.
Maybe Graham Swan. I think Graham Swan might have been the only one.
Yeah. Graham Swan was good.
Yeah. Anyway, coming back to that, I don't remember a New Zealand spinner doing well against India. I think that's one thing.
I'm going to very quickly look up Daniel Vittori's record against us.
It's awful. It is awful. I can guarantee you it is awful.
Right. You can please fill up the time here while I'm doing this.
So basically, he's trying to prove that spinners can bowl against India.
I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just checking his stats.
Okay. Either way, basically the way this works is we are trying to fill up time.
Yeah, okay.
That is being a complete idiot.
His average against India was 48.
There you go. I stand vindicated. Moving on.
His average in India was 44, which means his average against India in New Zealand was actually worse than 48.
Jesus, really? Okay, we're down to the last 2 and a bit minutes, so it's time for predictions.
I'm going to be boring. I'm going to say this game is going to end in a draw.
Oh, I will slap the living taste out of your mouth if you say that. How boring is that? It's going to be a draw. It's England. It's going to be rain. We have a spare day just to avoid this eventuality.
It's just going to be, it'll be so annoyingly funny if this match ends in a draw. After all of this talk about we've made Test cricket relevant again, all the matches matter, etc., etc. We're declaring a champion, and then the match ends in a draw.
But come on, aren't you excited?
Oh, no, I'm absolutely excited.
So then,
it'll just be funny then.
Look,
we both know we're predicting India to win.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
So I just want to throw in the curveballs.
Fair point. Does anyone want to predict a New Zealand win?
I mean, between the two of us, I'm sure not.
I think if Ian were here, he would, because
Yeah.
But
We have our predictions are slightly biased, but also India are a genuinely good side. They're in the
exactly,
front row.
I think that's the
Other than
thing.
New Zealand, but yeah,
Look, it's India's. In the old days, I would say it's India's batting against New Zealand's bowling. But now
yeah,
our bowling attack's so good, I can't say that anymore.
yeah.
I
And
actually
it's
think
really
they're
a
better
battle
than the
of which
batsmen.
bowling attack. Yeah, and it's really a battle of which bowling attack does better.
Yeah. I think in terms of
It could come down to, you know what? No, never mind. I'm predicting New Zealand. I'll tell you why.
why.
This could come down to who wins the toss. And I'm sorry, but Kohli sucks.
Oh my
Go ahead.
God! Don't start. Yeah, that is a very depressing thought. That is, you know what, Virat? Please send Ajinkya. Please send Jinx for the toss. Just एक चीज कर यार हमारे लिए. Don't go for the toss. Just do not go for the fucking toss. If you do that,
Seriously.
we will be fine. Just don't go for the toss.
Yeah.
Just that is, the one thing that we want to like. Please, हाथ जोड़ के पूछता हूँ. Don't go for the toss. Yeah, he'll probably lose the toss, and then we'll probably be like 40 odd for 3 at lunch or something. Um, and the ball's seaming around all over the place. No, anyway, it'll be interesting though, because if New Zealand do play four seamers, then I don't think they're going to bowl. I, I think that they're probably going to try and bowl first. So you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I'd go for an Indian win as well. Oh, wow. We've timed this absolutely perfectly. Yeah, I go for an
We are
Indian.
gonna stop. We are not gonna take this as license to now go drone on for another 10 minutes about whatever.
No.
Yes, India win. India win.
India win. That's what we're predicting. We're super excited though, because it is, I mean, look, the ICC's achieved what it wanted to achieve. There's hype around this game. It's in a neutral
Yeah.
venue, and it's one of a kind. It's a test match which feels like a special occasion.
Yeah,
I think we haven't had
absolutely.
that in a long time. I think the last time we had something that felt like this was probably the Gabba, but that only
But
really
yeah, but that's also
felt,
because
yeah.
there was no. I don't think there was extra hype for Gabba because of like any of this. It was just that it ended up being such a great match.
No, I thought the hype was because of what Tim Payne told Ashwin.
Oh, also on that, and the fact that but also by the time I mean, we didn't expect what happened at Gabba to happen. So I think by the time the Test series rolled around, we were like, dude, can we field 11 players? Or
do we have 11 players?
Are we gonna have to pull
question.
some Indian origin person out from the stands and put them into the 11 or what? And so that was the hype going into the Test match. It came out to be, we were all excited because of great innings. But yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. So that's our predictions. Those are what we expect the 11s to be. I think both teams will play spinners. So does he. I think India will play two spinners. So does he. So we're pretty much
we agree on everything, which is rare.
This is a random episode. What does Phil have to think about us agreeing on everything? Phil? Oh, right. Okay. That makes sense. But yeah, a couple of other things before we wind up this episode. In case anybody has been watching the PSL, there was a clip yesterday from the worst review I have ever seen in my life. Okay, basically, I can't remember who was playing who because I don't watch the PSL, but somebody played a forward defensive. The ball hits the middle of the bat and the guy goes up. Review, please. Okay.
We've seen these. We've seen a lot of these.
No. But something of this magnitude, I couldn't believe either, because the umpire, because I have a feeling that the conversation between the third umpire and the umpire would have what it would have been like. Hi, can you give me front on, please? Right, that ball looks like it's come off the middle of the bat. No pad involved. Can we go to Snicko just to confirm? Yes. Yeah. Please stick with your on-field decision. Remove 2 reviews for them. It's so bad you lose one for the next game. That too, also Sam Billings has been voted king of Twitter and knighted by Darren Stevens.
Yeah.
On that very happy note.
Do we want to give context for that or no?
No, people can go on to Twitter and find out themselves.
Okay, all right, cool. People, Sam Billings is king of Twitter. Just go look this up.
It's also his birthday today, so happy birthday, Sam Billings, the only Man United fan
Yes.
that we'll all salute. Um, yes, we're not
No, you.
saluting you, so go fuck yourself.
No, hang
Uh,
on. You mean the only England cricketer will all salute. There are
yeah,
plenty of
correct,
United fans
correct,
will all
correct,
salute.
correct, correct. That's also true. Also true. Um, anyway, on that very happy note, it is time to end. If you're watching on YouTube, please remember to like, share, subscribe. Don't do Florentino Perez's drugs. Say cheese and hit the bell icon. That is the one I forgot.
Yes.
The
If
most
you're
important one.
if you're listening to us, please subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Anchor, or wherever else you've managed to discover us. I would say always do Florentino Perez's drugs because they sound great. And yeah, be sure to say hi to Phil whenever you get the chance.
Also, I still have no idea why we do this because I do put them in the end credits. But anyway,
Yeah,
um,
so do I.
yeah. um, either way, um, catch us on social media. The handles are below. Please to watch more of Phil. We will probably be live during the test match. We are planning on doing live shows. Um,
But we should let you know we have planned this multiple times and not yet pulled one off. So
um,
yeah.
yeah, okay. No promises there. Anyway, that's our show, guys.
See you guys.